manage your money. This is a special show where we talk about financial planning with all our viewers. Now, come March, and a lot of investment decisions are taken with a view to cut your tax incidence. But have you done enough to meet your goals? Are you managing your finances smartly so that in the future you will have funds to finance your home or education of your child, whatever your financial goals are? To help you channel your financial resources towards your financial goals, we are joined by an expert financial planner. We have Mr. Gaurav Mashruwala joining us in the show. Now, we'll also have a few participants joining us to talk about what their financial aspirations are and what they should do to get there. Let's welcome in our two participants who are joining us on the show, and they have a lot of questions about financial planning. We have, I have with me two homemakers. We've got Jharna as well as Akanksha joining us in the studios. I spent a day with Akanksha and Jharna. Let's see what Akanksha does through her day.
Akanksha Rajdev is your quintessential homemaker. The 37-year-old is a doting mom and a loving wife. Street smart and well-read, her husband can depend on her to manage the house single-handedly.
Financially, when the income comes with the decision towards investing, asset allocation, etc. is done jointly. And for the family part, I think 90% is taken care of by her. I kind of support her and fill in the balance 10%.
Akanksha and Rahul are believers of the adage, savings first and spending later, which has become a bit of an effort now that they have moved to Gurgaon, a city they find expensive. But Akanksha has no regrets of the sacrifices made.
Yes, sacrifices, yes, we have made, but there's no sadness for it. I'm a bit satisfied with what we are into, in which situations we are living. But sometimes, yes, we have sacrificed, like a dress, it's so beautiful and I just want to buy it. But no, looking at the price tag, it's expensive. So let's leave it. We'll save for it, then we'll buy it, maybe later. So that kind of sacrifices, not much, like life-threatening sacrifices, no.
When, where and how much to invest are decisions that Akanksha and her husband take jointly, with retirement planning and child education fund being their first priorities.
So, Akanksha, you have been saving a lot. What's your question for Mr. Mashruwala?
Hi Gaurav, my question would be like, we are saving for our future, maybe probably after 20 years we'll retire. So my question to you would be, should we invest into NPS? Should we go for that?
Okay, so Akanksha, here are my first and overall recommendation, and then we'll probably look at your question as well. First and foremost, you and your husband have been managing finances phenomenally well. I've gone through the numbers and the way it's been maintained, and believe me, if everybody starts doing this, I'll have to find a new profession for myself. It's brilliantly done, trust me, and I'm not trying to praise you or something, but very well done job. Your borrowing is within limits, you have enough of health cover, there is sufficient contingency fund. So just few things, and then as to how you will move ahead, and then I'll answer your question as well. First and foremost, your contingency fund is sufficient. Just maintain a little bit of amount in form of cash at home. So that's one. When it comes to health insurance, again, you have enough cover, but I would recommend that over a period of time, enhance that cover because the healthcare costs are going up. You all have enough money to pick up higher health cover. Just ensure that, even if you can go to 7 to 10 lakhs over a period of time, that will be ideal. And then just keep a watch on inflation and healthcare costs. If that needs to be increased, do that. In case of life insurance, since it's a sole earning family, your husband is a sole earning member, I would recommend you to increase the life cover. It should go to 2.5 crores is the kind of recommendation that I have, and which will be possible if you look at term plans. So there should not be any issue on that. On your question on retirement, now first let me tell you some kind of strategy for retirement, and then I'll answer your NPS question as well. So in case of retirement, first is the way you all are focusing, just pay off your entire home loan. Just keep focusing on that, go aggressive so that the roof that you have above your house is completely debt free. And only once that's done is when you focus on retirement and That's when you start regularly. You can, your contribution to Provident Fund can continue, but otherwise, that's when you start amount equivalent to your EMI for retirement. Now, should you look at EPS or a Provident Fund? Well, here are two things. NPS or a Provident Fund, here are two things. Both has its pros and cons. Your return from Provident Fund are more or less assured. It's a debt-based product. And when you even withdraw the money, there is tax benefit to you. When it comes to NPS, there are equity investments in that which are volatile. There is a certain amount of expenses that you will have to incur, and at the same time there are certain expenses. So if I was in your place, I would recommend pick up a PPF for debt instrument. For an equity, pick up an ELSS. So what will happen is that you have an equity in form of ELSS, you have PPF, and there are tax benefits. Your other goals which you have stated to us is child's education, your son's education. Now, out of the total investments that you have in equity, etc., just move a portion of it in a manner which is earmarked for your son's education. This will take care of it. It will grow with the rate of inflation that you have, and then maybe a year or two prior to actual money requirement, just move that money into debt instrument. You should be able to take care of that goal. On your goal for your parental responsibility, which you have mentioned, again from the existing savings and investments that you have, move that into a mutual fund which is about 25% into equity and rest into debt. Opt for a growth option so that the corpus grows at a rate higher than inflation. As far as possible, meet parental responsibility from regular income, but if there is some larger amount required, then dip into the kitty and ensure that you replenish that at the earliest. Your son's marriage, I think the amount that you have stated is fairly humble. Your goal should take care of that. If not, only once the education of son's amount, whatever money is needed, is taken care of, is consider this. On your last wish list, which is you want to pick up another house, I would say defer for time being. You're doing fine, you're creating assets, you already have enough protection. But I would say that that's more of a wish list, and only when life is little more on a better footing is when you may want to kind of consider that second house. But otherwise, you are doing fine. Live a healthy financial life. All best wishes.
Gaurav, one more query was there. Like, when should I start SIP for my child's education? What is the right time to start it?
Here it is. You have still some time left. So what can happen is that once your EMIs are paid back completely, which means you are debt free, I think you can go aggressive and completely repay that amount. Only at a later date look at it. There is no rush in the sense that you already can contribute about 8-9 lakhs from your existing corpus to meet your son's education. So I would say that since you have given retirement a higher priority, had you given son's education a higher priority, I would have said upon completing home loan, start looking at funding your son's education. Since you've given retirement as an important priority, focus on retirement, build up that corpus, and then go to son's education. But if that order changes, then tweak. Upon completion of home loan, you can start funding son's education. It's your preference. I'm not saying one or the other, it's your choice.
Okay, thank you.
So Gaurav has given very comprehensive advice to Akanksha. We'll slip into a break. When we come back, Jharna will ask questions to Mr. Mashruwala.